Hello, I'm Bill Godsafe, Essex Wildlife Trust Warden here at Hanningfield Reservoir Nature Reserve with the Essex Wildlife Trust. Today we are in Wood, the furthest part of the reserve away from our visitor centre, and we're looking at the bluebells. You can probably see in the background that there is a huge mass of them. Bluebells, along with certain other species, are what's classed as an ancient woodland indicator. So if you've got lots of bluebells, it means that this has been under continuous tree cover for a long time. Essex, although we're a very urban county, has some really splendid areas of ancient woodland. And as you look around, you probably see lots of smaller trees. So some history in this area would have been hornbeam and ash trees. In the 1950s, they were grubbed out and replaced by North American conifers, as happened in lots of places. Nowadays, we've replanted or allowed natural regeneration, so it's looking more like a traditional woodland. I mentioned that bluebells are an ancient woodland species, and that's because they take a very long time to colonise a new area. When the flowers die and the seed pods open, they are small black seeds that don't disperse very far. If you look round to the other side here, you'll see that this area, which was planted up with trees on farmland in the 1960s, they've only managed to go a short distance in. So that's how far they've managed to colonise for 60 years. Looking back at the ancient woodland, you can possibly see a ditch and a bank. This marks the medieval boundary of the woodland. So what would have happened several hundred years ago, they would have dug a deep ditch and piled the soil up on the woodland side. That was designed to prevent sheep and cattle getting in to graze the new growth, and also so they could chase deer out without them being able to get back in. There are other species around that we call ancient woodland indicators. Down on the ground here we have yellow archangel, which is one of the dead nettle family. They call them dead nettles because they don't sting. It's actually related to mint. That's another splendid flower that comes out about this time of year. And if you look at the trees just in front of us, these are what was coppiced. You have to remember that going back hundreds of years ago, people protected woodlands because they had an economic value. Whereas now we preserve them for wildlife and amenity, people depended on them. So they would coppice the trees, which means cutting them low every few years, allowing them to regenerate and then cutting them again. Very sustainable. So, when's the best time to come and see them? Traditionally, we always said May, but in recent years, I would be more inclined to come along in the last 2 weeks of April. If you're thinking of paying a visit to Hanningfield in the near future, do come up in the next week or so. They're just at their best, but by about the middle of next week, end of next week, they'll just be starting to go over and looking a bit thinner and losing their colour.